Dear students, greetings to all. In this module, we will begin with a new chapter, Unit 2, Chapter 5, Morphology in Flowering Plants. Firstly, we'll be talking about the flower. Now, what is flower? Flower in biology, in case of angiosperms, is referred to as the reproductive part of the plant. So we define flower as, or flower is basically the reproductive part of the plant, which is meant for sexual reproduction. So that's the reproductive unit in case of angiosperms. It is a modified shoot wherein the shoot apical meristem changes into floral meristem. Internodes do not elongate and the axis gets condensed. This is the pictorial view of Hibiscus rosa sinensis. That is a bisexual flower. It is called as goodale or shoe flower commonly. Now when we see the diagrammatic representation of the flower, it basically comprises of a stalk which is referred to as the pedicel. In certain cases, if the base is swollen, it is referred to as receptacle or thalamus. In some flowers, we also find the reduced leaf at the base, like in case of hibiscus. So they are referred to as the bract. Flowers which have bracts are called as bracteate, whereas the ones which lack are called as ebracteate flowers. The detailed pictorial view of the flower. Flower basically comprises of 4 whorls, 2 accessory and 2 reproductive whorls. So accessory whorls are basically the calyx and corolla, whereas the essential or the reproductive whorls are androecium, that's for male, gynoecium, that's the female. Now have a close look at the pictorial view. So we'll see that there is a green color structure over here which is referred to as the calyx. So this one depicted in green, it is the calyx, which is a group of sepals. The function of the calyx is to protect the flower in the bud condition. In certain cases, like in brinjal and tomato, the calyx is persistent and therefore it is referred to as persistent calyx. The corolla or the petals, they are beautifully colored in some flowers so as to attract the pollinators. The entomophilous flowers, that is the flowers which are pollinated by insects, they've got beautiful colors. Their corolla is brightly colored. They have nectar. They have got beautiful smell or scent so as to attract the pollinators. Now the male part, that's the androecium. It comprises of the anther and the filament. So this bulbous portion, that is the anther, and the stick-like part, that's the filament. Gynoecium comprises of 3 parts, that's the stigma, style and ovary. Stigma is the part which is sticky where the pollen grains land. Style is the part through which the pollen tube will seek an entry into the female and fuse with the egg. Ovary is the part which will develop into fruit and ovule will develop into seeds. In case of angiosperms, the flowering plants, ovule is covered by seed and the ovule is covered by ovary and therefore they are called as angiosperms, that means covered seeds. Whereas in case of gymnosperms, the ovules are not covered by ovary and therefore they are referred to as naked seeds. Where gymno, it refers to naked and sperma seed. Angio, it refers to cover and sperma, again seeds. The flower. When we talk about the petals or the corolla, in some flowers, like when we talk about lily, the calyx and the corolla, they are not distinct. The calyx is fused with the corolla, and that is condition is referred to as perianth. If suppose the flower has got both the male and the female parts, like in hibiscus, we can see this red color structure, that's the stigma, and the yellow portion, that's the pollen grains or the male part. So such kind of plants, they are referred to as, or the flowers are called as bisexual flowers, which have both androecium and gynoecium. For example, hibiscus. The example of bisexual plants or dioecious plants are like papaya and date palm. When we talk about unisexual, that means the flower will have either the male or the female. So, unisexual flower is nothing but dioecious. That means the male and female, they are present on different plant like papaya and date palm. Whereas bisexual flowers, they are monoecious. Example, colocasia, castor, maize, pinus, coconut, cucumber. There are many to cite. In case of lower animals, generally the trait which is exhibited, that is the animals, lower animals, they are generally bisexual. Like earthworm, it is hermaphrodite, has both male and female sex organs. But as evolution proceeded, in the course of evolution, the unisexuality was favored in case of animals because similar organism having both male and female reproductive system in one would complicate the system. Therefore, organisms like us, Homo sapiens, we are unisexual in nature. But in case of plants, plants moved towards bisexuality. This is because if they are unisexual, they need to be totally dependent upon the pollinators. So, for the process of fertilization, so as to produce seeds. But if the plant is bisexual, that means like hibiscus or like rose or like pea, where it has got both male and female part in the same plant, it need not be dependent at the mercy of the pollinators. According to the symmetry, the flowers can be divided into three types. That is, the asymmetrical flowers which exhibit irregular symmetry. That means the flower cannot be divided into two halves along any plane. Example, Canna indica. Symmetrical flowers exhibit radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. The actinomorphic term that refers to radial symmetry. Here the flowers can be divided into two equal halves, as we can see in the diagrammatic representation, through the vertical plane passing through the center. Example, dhatura, petunia, mustard, chili, they exhibit radial symmetry. Talking about bilateral symmetry, it is zygomorphic flower. Flowers can be divided into two halves through a single vertical plane passing through the center. Example, pea, gulmohar, cassia, bean, to name a few. So this is the examples of actinomorphic flower. That's mustard, dhatura, chili, where the flower can be divided into two equal radial halves. The next slide presentation is of zygomorphic flowers. Example, pea, gulmohar, cassia, where along the vertical plane we can divide the flower into two equal halves. There are certain flowers which cannot be divided into two similar halves by any vertical plane, like example, Canna indica. So this is the pictorial view of Canna indica, which is asymmetrical in nature. Now, the flowers on the basis of the floral appendages, they could be trimerous, tetramerous, or pentamerous. That means the floral appendages are in multiple of three. Example, tulipa. So it is an example of trimerous flower. The members of Liliaceae family, that is onion, garlic, they are again trimerous. The tetramerous flowers, they belong to Cruciferaceae, that is mustard or Coriaea alba, that is Brassicaceae family, that is Tetramerous, or the floral appendages, they are in multiples of 4. Pentamerous floral appendages are in 5 or multiples of 5. Example, the members of Solanaceae family, that is the potato family, which includes Solanum tuberosum, Solanum nigrum, Solanum brinjal. So they are all included in it. Now when we talk about the parts of the flower, it basically comprises of calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, where calyx are the green colored structures which provide protection to flower in bud condition. Corolla are group of petals which help to attract pollinators. Androecium is the male part which produces the male gamete, that's the pollen grain. Gynoecium is the female part which produces the egg. Here, this is the diagrammatic representation of rose, where we can see that calyx is giving protection to the rose in its bud state. So calyx, that's the outermost part of the flower. It is made up of sepals. They're green in color, and the calyx, they could either be free or the calyx could also be fused. When they are free, they are polysepalous. And if suppose they are fused, they form a funnel. They are gamosepalous, that is the united sepals. And polysepalous, that means the sepals are free. Corolla. The inner two calyx is corolla. It is composed of petals which are brightly colored that help to attract insect for pollination. Pollination, what is pollination now? It can be defined as the process of transfer of pollen grains from the male part to the stigma, that is the female part of the plant. The corolla, they could be united or they could be free. If the corolla, they are united, the petals are united, the condition is gamopetalous. Like we can see over here in case of petunia or funnel-shaped flowers. It is polypetalous, that means the petals are free from each other. They do not form a funnel-shaped structure like in case of hibiscus. So the shape of the corolla, it may vary. When we talk about the gamopetalous, that means we are talking about that the petals are fused. So generally they are bell-shaped, like in case of tobacco even. And when we talk about polypetalous, so that refers to where the petals are free. Like for example, rose or dianthus. In this module, we had a detailed discussion on flower, which is the reproductive part of the angiosperms. We discussed in detail about the 4 different whorls, that is the calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, and talked about the classification of the flower on the basis of symmetry, on the basis whether they are unisexual, bisexual, on the basis whether they have got they exhibit trimerous, tetramerous or pentamerous condition. In the next module, we will be discussing about the inflorescence in detail. Hopefully, you must have garnered all the concepts thoroughly. Thank you.